let's talk about one of the most misunderstood forces in your life: boredom. Seriously. But what if, instead of running from it, you could turn it into a secret weapon for focus and clarity? Well, I'm going to show you how with a really simple 48-hour reset. I mean, really think about that for a second. That tiny little moment you're in an elevator or waiting for your coffee, where you're just stuck in traffic. What's the very first thing you do? It's like a reflex, right? You reach for your phone to escape your own mind. And that question, that gets to the absolute heart of our modern attention crisis.
And this is what that looks like. It's become this totally universal thing we all do. We fill every single empty second with noise, with scrolling, with something. We've basically trained our brains to avoid stillness at all costs, treating silence like it's this vacuum that we have to fill immediately. But, this constant stimulation, it comes at a really high price.
Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's the overstimulated brain. And let's be honest, that's the default for most of us. It's always expecting an instant reward, it avoids silence like the plague, and it loses focus so easily. But on the right, that's our goal, the reset brain. A brain that can actually tolerate a little discomfort, find real clarity in the quiet, and build that deep focus we all need to get meaningful stuff done.
So the big question is, how do we get from that frantic, overstimulated state to the calm, reset one? Well, the answer is kind of hiding in plain sight. It's in the very thing we're all trained to avoid. So let's dive into the secret power of silence. Okay, this right here, this is probably the single most important idea in this entire explainer. We've all been taught that boredom is bad, right? It means you're lazy or you're wasting time, but the truth is the complete opposite. Think of boredom as a gym for your mind. It's where you go to strengthen your attention muscle.
And hey, there's actually science to back this up. When you stop jamming your brain full of new information and just let yourself get bored, you activate something called the default mode network. This thing is your brain's creative powerhouse. It's what's running when you're not actively focusing on one thing. Your mind is just connecting random ideas, processing memories, and solving problems in the background. It's where all those aha moments come from. And this quote just nails it. The deep work, those creative breakthroughs, those moments where everything suddenly just clicks. They don't happen when you're scrolling through a feed. They are born in the quiet moments you give your brain to actually think.
All right, so hopefully you're sold on the why. You get it. Silence is a superpower. So now let's get into the how. Here's your practical, step-by-step guide to taking back your focus with the 48-hour reset.
The process is actually pretty simple, just broken down into these 3 steps. First, we're going to understand why this works. Then, we're going to actively cut out all the noise. And finally, we're going to practice just being okay with that newfound quiet.
So step 1 is absolutely crucial, and it's all about your mindset. It's about truly understanding what's happening when you allow yourself to do nothing. This isn't about being lazy. This is about being strategic with your mental energy.
When you embrace a little bit of stillness, you're not being unproductive. You're giving your mind a chance to sharpen itself. Like sharpening an axe before you chop down a tree. You'll find that problems you've been wrestling with for weeks suddenly start to untangle themselves, and you'll feel this mental energy come rushing back. Energy you didn't even realize was gone because you finally stopped the constant drain of stimulation.
All right, let's move on to step 2. Now that you get the goal, it's time to take some real action and deliberately remove all that noise from your life.
And please, remember this. So many of us, we beat ourselves up for procrastinating or feeling unfocused, and we blame it on a lack of willpower. But here's the thing. Often, the real culprit isn't laziness. It's that we are living in a state of constant, chronic overstimulation. Our brains literally never get a break. So, for these next 48 hours, the goal is super simple. Just break that cycle. Deny your brain all those cheap dopamine hits it's gotten used to. Remember, this is not forever. It's a short, sharp reset. And here's a fantastic pro tip from the source material. Put your phone in grayscale mode. I'm telling you, it instantly makes the screen incredibly boring, and it will dramatically reduce your urge to scroll. Okay, now for the final step. And to be honest, this is where the real work happens. You've created the quiet space, now you have to learn how to actually sit in it. This is all about relearning the lost art of tolerating discomfort. Look, when you first start this, it's gonna feel weird. You're gonna feel antsy, restless, maybe even a little anxious. Your brain is gonna scream for a distraction. But I want you to reframe that feeling. That discomfort isn't a sign that you're failing. It is the sign that it's working. That feeling is the sound of your brain rewiring itself.
And hey, you don't have to jump into 6 hours of silent meditation. Your brain isn't trained for that yet. Instead, just start small. Start with what the source calls wonderfully boring tasks. These are simple, single-focus activities without any digital stuff. Clean your room. Go for a walk and just walk. Leave the headphones at home. Listen to the world around you. These small acts are the training reps that build up that focus muscle.
So, we've covered the why and the how. We've looked at the problem and the step-by-step solution. So now, it really all comes down to this: your challenge, if you choose to accept it.
48, that's it. Just 2 days. This isn't some lifelong commitment. It's a short experiment to prove to yourself what's possible when you just give your mind a chance to breathe. So this is my challenge to you. For just one weekend, step away from all the high-frequency noise. Put the phone down. Turn off the constant stream of content. Let yourself be bored, and just pay really close attention to what happens. Watch how your mind responds, and see how much clarity and energy you get back.
And I'll leave you with this one last thought. Right now, there is very likely a solution or a creative breakthrough or just a really profound realization that's trying to get to you. But it can't get through all the noise. The only question is, will you give it the silence it needs to be heard?